Welcome to Creating SBG Assessments Part 3 playlist short series of asynchronous tutorials. This is the second tutorial for this playlist. All resources for this session can be found at the link below, highlighted in pink. Things to remember when creating assessments from a proficiency scale. In front of you is the assessment review item checklist that you will use to create your obtrusive, unobtrusive, or student-generated classroom assessments. It has been modified from Jan Ho's recent book on how to develop proficiency scales. It is not an exhaustive list. However, when you are creating an SBG assessment, these are the criteria your assessment items should have. The assessment item should measure the concepts and skills on the proficiency scale for the score level. The appropriate item type should be used, multiple choice, true, false, short answer, essay, etc. The assessment item should be free from bias. It should be written at the developmentally appropriate level and readability level. Assessment items should be clearly written. Directions should be present, clear, and concise. And where appropriate, an answer key or scoring guide should match the assessment item. Let's critique a few assessment item examples using the assessment item review checklist. If you need to download the assessment item review checklist handout, pause the video to do this and restart it again when you are ready. The checklist is on page 5 of your handout. First, examine the P6 Science Proficiency Scale on the left. Take some time to interpret what the proficiency scale is requiring the students to know and be able to do. Then examine the Score 3 assessment item on the right side of the slide. Is this a high quality assessment item? Pause the video if you need more wait time. This is not a high quality assessment item. The teacher has determined this question to be a Score 3, but Score 3 on the Science Proficiency Scale reads, develop a model to describe how water cycles through Earth's systems, including the importance of the sun's energy and the force of gravity. The assessment item is not aligned to the Score 3 bite-size idea. Secondly, a true or false question generally is not appropriate to assess Score 3 content on a proficiency scale. We learned this in the first tutorial. In addition, the graphic of the water cycle is not appropriate for this age level. The only terms written in Score 2 that the students need to learn is evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. The terminology labeled in the graphic goes way beyond what a P6 student needs to learn. The X next to each criteria shows those things that the teacher did not consider when writing a high quality assessment item for the proficiency scale in question. Let's critique another example using the assessment item review checklist. First, examine the P4 math proficiency scale on the left. Take some time to interpret what the proficiency scale is requiring the students to know and be able to do. Then examine the Score 3 math assessment item on the right side of the slide. Is this a high quality assessment item? If you need more wait time, pause the video now. This is a high quality assessment item. The assessment item asks the learner to write less than, greater than, or equal for each pair of fractions and justify your answer with work, pictures, or words. The Score 3 math assessment item is aligned with the content seen at the Score 3 level on the proficiency scale. Also, short answer or constructed response is an appropriate assessment item type to use. In addition to the first two criteria, the assessment item that we viewed earlier is also free from bias. It is written at a developmentally appropriate level and readability level. It is clearly written and the directions are present, clear, and concise. Let's look at a separate example to illustrate what is meant by a scoring guide. This is an M1 Score 3 science question. It is a constructed response assessment item type. The student in this case has to use the data to draw a table in order for the teacher to score this assessment item reliably and consistently from student to student. Scoring guidance or an answer key is required. Jan Ho in tutorial 4 will explain in a little more detail the importance of a scoring guide as an important criteria for quality classroom assessments.